कृष्णवर्णं त्रिषा कृष्णं साङ्गोपाङ्गास्त्रपार्षदं यज्ञैः सङ्कीर्तनप्रायैर्यजन्ति सुमेधसः अन्तः कृष्णं बहिर्गौरं दर्शिताङ्गादिवैभवम् कलौ सङ्कीर्तनाद्यै स्मः कृष्णचैतन्यमाश्रिताः जयतां मथुरा भूमौ श्रीलरूपसनातनौ यौ विलेकयतस्तत्त्वं ज्ञापकौ पुस्तिकामिमाम् कोऽपि तद्बान्धवो भट्टो दक्षिणद्विजवंशजः विविच्य वेलिकग्रन्थं लिखिताद् वृद्धवैष्णवैः तस्याद्यं ग्रन्थनालेकं क्रान्तव्युत्क्रान्तखण्डितं पर्यालोच्याथ पर्यायं कृत्वा लिखति जीवकः यश्रीकृष्णपादाम्भोज भजनैकाभिलाषवान् तेनैव दृश्यतामेतत् अन्यस्मै शपथोऽर्पितः श्रीमद्भागवतं श्रीमन्मन्त्रदेशिकमीश्वरम् श्रीमद्भागवतार्थानां सन्दर्भं कर्तुमाश्रये अथ नत्वा मन्त्रगुरून् गुरून् भागवतार्थदान् श्रीभागवत सन्दर्भं वश्मि लेखितुम् यस्य ब्रह्मेति संज्ञां क्वचिदपि निगमेयाति चिन्मात्रसत्ता यंशो यस्यांशकैस्वैर्विभवति वशयन्नेव मायां पुमांश्च एकं यस्यैव रूपं विलसति परमव्योम्नि नारायणाख्यम् स श्रीकृष्णो विधत्तां स्वयमिह भगवान् प्रेम तत्पादभाजाम् हरे कृष्ण। Three, six plus 10. Who is missing? Sorry, only one. 1, 2. Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, we'll discuss today. We'll continue our discussion. Anumana Pramana versus, or otherwise, non-defective Shabda versus Anumana. So that was the discussion we were doing. That we'll continue. So where we are? Yeah, we discussed 5 limbs of the Anumana Pramana. First one is Pratigna, statement. Second one is the Hetu, reason. Third one is the Udaharana, example. Fourth one is the Upanaya, its application. And fifth one is the Nigaman, conclusion. So like this, we have 5 limbs, and this process, through this process also one can get the valid knowledge. But of course, that means this tool is pramana in all the times. Sometimes it will become pramana bhasa. That is a problem actually. So other than the non-defective shabda, all other are, sometimes they function as pramana and sometimes they function as pramana bhasa. That means sometimes they produce prama and sometimes they produce the brahma. So that's why. And we have seen the Anumana Pramana, it is producing the Prama when the smoke is real and proper. So then at that time, and also, so we can easily say that there is fire on the top of the hill by seeing the smoke. But this is in this process, that means in the Anumana process. So we also discussed the defect. That means this process is not perfect all the time. So it is defective. So how, in the what case, that that we discussed, when there was rain. So rain just finished. That means just finished before your arrival to the near to that hill, yeah, spot. So then you are seeing the that means a smoke, but due to just rain, so the fire was extinguished, extinguished. So then there is no fire. But still, by seeing the smoke, you'll be coming to the conclusion that there is a fire on the hill. So this is the case. Or otherwise, sometimes hills can be cloudy season. Hills can be surrounded with the mist. By seeing the mist also, so we may come to the false understanding that this mist is nothing but this smoke. And after that, so we will be concluding wrongly there is a fire on the uh, hill. So this is also one more place where we can see the Vyabhicharata of the Anumana Pramana. That means the knowledge, whatever is produced through the Anumana Pramana, that is Anumiti Gnanam, that can be Vyabhichari towards its Pramana, its Prameya. So that's why in this way we can see Vyabhicharita in the case of Anumana Pramana. So that is the first point we discussed. But in the case of the Shabda Pramana, there is no Vyabhicharita. So what is the example? The Surya Kantamani is producing the fire when it is touched by the rays of the sun. So this is the statement, and this statement always produces the same knowledge about that Surya Kantamani. Surya Kantamani is a prameya, and the statement, that means a set number of words, are the Sabda Pramana, and they are producing all the time. Shabda Gnanam is correct only. So that's why we are seeing there is no Vyabhicharita in the case of a non-defective Shabda. And next, second point we discussed, that's dependency and independency. Anumana Pramana is dependent on Shabda. That means independently, Anumana Pramana independently, it cannot become Pramana all the times. When it takes the help of the Shabda, then it will produce all the time, then it will produce the right knowledge. So that's why, so since otherwise you can say, to produce all the time right knowledge, that means Prama, Anumana Pramana need, or Anumana Pramana is dependent on the Shabda Pramana. Example is, so we discussed, so yeah, yeah, so three travelers are going to some place, and in the middle of their way, so they were seeing the two hills. That season was the winter season, so they wanted to have some, that means some treatment from the fire, so fire treatment. So that's why they are seeing the smoke on the top of the two hills, so which is near to that. So they are going to that hill, they are going to top of that hill, so to have the fire. So there, but by seeing their approach towards that, so one person who already traveled, visited the two places, he said that, so oh my dear travelers, don't go to this hill. If you go this hill, there is no fire, because just before, few minutes before, so there was rain and fire was extinguished here. So but if you go to that hill, so there, so fire, that means there is no rain and there is a, so fire is there, you can go to that place. So like this they said. Then after that, getting this right knowledge through the Shabda, so then these travelers are applying their Anumana. That means, yeah, now fire is there, sorry, smoke is there on that hill. So definitely there is a fire. So let us go. So here, and he also concluded, they also concluded, even though there is a fire, even though there is a smoke, there is no fire on this hill. So that's why we should not go. This kind of, that means knowledge they got. But here that means they got the right knowledge from the Anumana Pramana after hearing from the Shabda. After hearing the Shabda only they got this. So that's why Anumana Pramana here it is producing the right knowledge. So based, depending on, that means it's depending on the Shabda. So that's why we are saying it is Anumana is, yeah, is depending on the Shabda to become to become Pramana always. Otherwise, it will become Pramana Bhasa sometimes. Okay, this much is clear. Hmm. So scientists generally they apply these two processes only, Anumana and Pratyaksha and Anumana. Like that person, he is visiting the kitchen and also visiting the cow shed, visiting to the sleeping place and different places. After seeing the closely relationship between the fire and smoke, so he derived one rule. Yatra yatra dhumaha, tatra tatra vahi. Scientists also what they do. So using their these senses, mind, these are five knowledge senses, they are observing the nature, and after observing the nature, so they will be finding the relation between the different parameters, or different elements, actually, otherwise different elements. Like example, if we throw a apple towards the sky, so it is falling down, and then after that they observe, he's observing this, so why it is happening, then he is trying to find the relation between that object which is thrown upward direction and the object which is that earth, actually. So what is this relation, why it is attracting, why it is coming. So then after that he do some experiment, and finally he will come to the some rule, he will formulate one rule, like yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vahini. In the same way he will be producing the, so he will be deriving the rule that h is equal to, so the height traveled by the object if you throw upward direction, what is the height, h is equal to what, huh? Ut plus half gt square, initial velocity into time plus gravitational pull. That means minus, because it's a pulling down, minus gt, half gt square, gravitational constant g. But you are all young students than me. Eh? Modern minds, no. Okay, no problem. It's not, yeah, good to forget all those things. Good, good, Prabhu. Yeah. All of it. But people like us so greedy, so we are keeping that old stock. Okay. So like this, there he will be deriving this kind of relation, and then after that he is applying to the different objects in the cases. Now he will be applying like in the hill. Now we are seeing the smoke. So then we are coming to the new information. We are getting the new information that on this hill there is a fire. On this hill there is a fire. We are getting now the new information by using the old rule, which is derived long back. So in the same way, in the science also, they will be deriving these kind of formulas, and after that, they will, by using those formulas, they may make one different objects, so that they can use, those can be used for the different sense gratification, or otherwise whatever that means purposes. So like this is a process. So in this process, so there is a chance, that means now we, how this process is dependent on the non-defective shabda. So that's why I request, after understanding thoroughly the explanation given by the Jiva Goswami, so one has to digest that nicely and apply that to the modern physics and modern scenario, and so that we can also try to present this same philosophy whatever Jiva Goswami is showing to the news, that means present scenario, so that people can easily come to the believing in the non-defective Shabda. Initially, you should not say the immediate Vedas. You should say non-defective Shabda. Then after that, we will prove that what is that non-defective Shabda. So initially, only if you say Vedas, then why I have to believe in the Vedas? He will raise the point. So then there is a big problem. He will be having a big already brainwash from the day one. Vedas are they are all kalpitas and these that he might have heard so many things. So that's why. So even that is the approach, that is strategy. Initially, non-defective shabda. That means assume there is a shabda which is not having any defects. Example you can give. So example is your father. So your mother, she is your mother, or he is your father. How you come to know? Your mother said. That is one example for the non-defective shabda. Yes. So like this, so non-defective shabda we take into account, and then based upon that defeat the pratyaksha and anumana, and then after that we can establish that non-defective shabda is a Vedas. So now we'll continue of discussing the remaining four criteria. Which number, page number is? In the Mula? 16, okay. यदि वक्तव्यम्, ओके. यदि वक्तव्यम् एवम् आभासत्वेन पूर्वत्र स्वरूपासिद्धो हेतुः इत्यतः न शब्द अनुमान सब न सदनुमान व्यभिचरति इति समान आकारत्वात् विषपर्वत भाष्पादिषु नेत्र ज्वालादीनाम् अपि दर्शनात् उच्यते. Now the friend of Anumana Pramana is coming into the picture now, and he is trying to support his Anumana Pramana. He's arguing, or either he's taking the side of Anumana Pramana, and he is trying to establish Anumana Pramana as independent. He's trying. How he's trying, we'll see. Understanding what is happening now? Purvapakshi. That means Purvapakshi is coming. Opponent. Yes, Nanu. Yedi Vaktavyam is also like that only, Nanu. He is trying to defend the taking the side of the Anumana, and he is trying to defend the Anumana Pramana. Yeah, he is trying, he is what can I say, is a raising argument actually, and he is saying your explanation about Anumana is wrong. What we said till now, so Anumana Pramana is not independent, and it is dependent, we said. So now he is saying no, you did wrong actually, like that. Here then you can understand. After that only this point is raised. The Purvapaksha is coming, and here it is saying, यदि वक्तव्यम एवं आभासत्वेन पूर्वत्र स्वरूप सिद्धिः हेतुः इत्यतः न सदनुमान व्यभिचरति इति. Especially in the first point actually, Vyabhicharita and Avyabhicharita, that we are seeing. He is raising objection for that. Vyabhicharata or Vyabhichari. Here what? This is Anumana. And this is Shabda. Non-defective Shabda. This is Avyabhichari. We showed Anumana Pramana is Vyabhichari. Example is, so there we took hill, and hill is surrounded by the mist. Okay. So now person came, and he is seeing the mist, and after that he is saying fire is on the hill. This he is saying. Now and then based upon that, so by seeing this, but actually fire is not there on the hill. So we are saying that this Anumiti Gnanam is not avyabhichari. Huh? This is mist actually. This is mist. So this person is seeing the mist, and what he is saying, first case actually, Vyabhicharat and Avyabhichar, just I am repeating. In that case, what happened? So person is seeing the mist and he is thinking that, so fire is on the hill. Okay, fire is on the hill. And then we said that, so Anumana Pramana is Vyabhichari. Yes? This fire is on the hill is the Anumiti Gnanam. This Anumiti Gnanam is not following sincerely. It's Prameya. That is the hill. So it's not following from properly because there is a defect in the Anumana Pramana. Okay, now after seeing this explanation, Purvapakshi is coming, opponent. So opponent is coming and saying, you took the actually wrong hetu. You took the Swarupa Siddha hetu. What you took? You took Swarupa Asiddha hetu. See in the Sanskrit and English also you can see. Swarupa Siddha hetu. You took mist as the hetu and you came to the conclusion, you took mist as the hetu, that means mist as smoke, and you came into the conclusion that fire is on the hill. But he is saying you took the hetu, whatever that hetu is wrong. But if you take the proper hetu, Anumana Pramana is proper only. That is a fault of the taking the wrong hetu. That is not the fault of the Anumana Pramana, or otherwise the process. The process is correct only. That is your fault actually. Why you took wrong hetu and after that you are concluding wrongly? Like this he is saying. Wrong hetu means Swarupa Siddha hetu. Asiddha. Swarupa Asiddha hetu. Swarupa Siddha hetu. Okay. Actually, Hetva Bhasa is many types. That whenever we have time, so we can discuss that. Tarka Sangraha, that is why is helpful. Tarka Sangraha is enough for the devotees. Actually, this much if you learn, so that we can manage completely Bhagavatam and Sandarbhas. No need to study those so many levels of the Nyaya. There are the Nyaya Siddhanta Muktavali, Panchalakshani, Siddhanta Lakshani, these that. They're just then that is sense gratification if you study that. Intellectual gratification, that is. But if you read the Tarka Sangraha, that is enough actually, so that we can use that in our studies. So now that's why this Swarupa Siddha Hetu, Swarupa Asiddha Hetu you took, and that is a problem of Hetu, not the process. That's why he's saying, English if you read. Ujjwal Prabhu, read the English of this line. Following or not? Okay. Tapomai Prabhu, what is the English of that line we discussed now? Not following? English you found? Where it is?
Harishnu.
Yeah.
Smoke is used to find fire in the process of Anumana, but the Prakasha demands the confirmation of smoke, for which confirmation of fire is needed. So smoke and fire can't be confirmed
No.
independently.
Where you are studying? Where we are actually? So okay, Bhavga Prabhu, you.
In the above example, you have taken Swarupa Siddha Hetu and established that Anumana is rooted in Shabda. But in the case of Samanabhikaranyam,
Uh,
equal
equivalent.
existence of Hetu and
Ah,
Sadhya.
this is actually here little English modification is needed, and also is and hetu and establish that anumana is rooted in shabda. So it is not the thing actually you should write here. So anumana is vebichari. You should write. So there is a mistake in the this file. So when I did so, some mistakes are there. So please consider. It is not the final book. It is running translation. Editing is not done actually properly. So I gave my running notes actually. Okay. So that's why in the class we'll read, and if we find any problem, you can also tell to me. No problem. You can mail me or you can message me. If I find, then if I found, then I will tell immediately. And also this is Samanadikaran is also wrong actually here. So then best actually in the for this section you can see from the BBT actually. BBT in the back side they translated BBT they translated the Sarva Samvadini also. There it is very nicely it is given. You can see that. This is fire is on the hill. So is not this is what opponent is saying. Opponent is saying that okay, whatever you said is not correct actually. Your conclusion about the Anumana Pramana is not correct. Now he is saying, so you took the improper hetu, Sarupa Asiddha hetu, and then you came to the conclusion that this Anumana Pramana is wrong. But that is the problem of hetu, not the process. If you take the Sad hetu, then there will be no Vebichara. Like this opponent said. And also opponent is saying Samanakaratvat. Why it happened? Why you took Asuddha hetu? Asuddha hetu you took because this fog or the fog or the mist, you can say fog or mist, that and the smoke, they look same. Samanakaratvat. So he is also explaining, opponent is explaining why you took Asad hetu. The reason is that fog and the smoke, they look almost similarly, samanakaratvat. And also this is, and sometimes there will be, you will be seeing bhashpa. Bhashpa means there is some poisonous hill. If you take the poisonous hill, in the case of poisonous hill also there is raising of some gases. And you, by seeing these gases also, you will be thinking that there is a fire on the hill. So then in that, at that time also, what you will be thinking, you will be thinking that this gas is as a smoke, and you will be concluding that there is a fire on the hill. And this Purapakshi is saying that that is also, that gas also looks like the smoke only. Even smoke also produces the some tears in the eyes. Similarly, that gas also produces the similarly tears in the eye. That means he is saying ultimately you are getting illusion in, or otherwise you are taking the wrong hetu, and that's why you are coming to the wrong conclusion. But the process is no, is not having any defect. This is the Purupakshi point. Okay, like that he justified. Now we have to answer to this. Yes. Answer to the opponent. Reply to opponent. Jiv Goswami is replying for that. So generally opponent here, who can be opponent, is the Nayayika. That means we said no opponent. Now who is that? Who can be that? Who believes in the Anumana Pramana? Those are the Nayayikas. Nayayikas, they believe in Anumana, and they treat Anumana Pramana as the supermost Pramana. That is the topmost Pramana. And they don't have belief in another things, or Pratyaksha or otherwise Shabda also. They don't think. So that is their philosophy. That is their school of philosophy. So okay. So that's why Now we are going to give the reply for his explanation now. Uchyate means is replied. Alam, enough. So Jiva Goswami is saying, the reply. Jiva, Jiva Goswami is saying, Bas, alam, enough, 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 enough. So enough. What he's saying? Dhumadinam asarvatrikatvat तद बाष्पातीत कालगत धूम जातत्वादि संभवाच्च न धूमा धूमा भासयोर अग्नि सद्भावा सद्भाव मात्र प्रतिपत्तेः अग्निज्ञानादेव धूम ज्ञाने साध्य साधन समभिव्याहारात् परस्पराश्रयः प्रसज्जेत. This is a sentence we should understand now. Poisonous hill. Poisonous hill, that means sometimes in the hill there will be some there's a poison will be there, that means different chemicals actually, those will be reacting and those keep on releasing the some gas. Yeah, maybe different things. So these gases, but there is no fire actually, just it is some gas. So they are also giving that in this kind of example also you will be seeing the gas and thinking as a smoke, and you will be coming to the conclusion of, so this is hill is fire is on the hill. Yeah, we are thinking gas as a smoke, and you are concluding that there is a fire on that. So that is your mistake. You are taking the wrong hetu. Swarupa asiddha hetu you are taking, and you are coming to that conclusion. That is your fault, like that. And just I am opening now. Mm, 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 BBT edition you have. I will read. I will read. I am also having. Page number. What is that, Prabhu? Yes, 304. Page number 304. In that book, if you see 265. In the book, if you see 265 on third paragraph, in the page number, you have this book or not? If you don't have, then whoever is having from him, you can take. Because that is, they should purchase, na? Okay. Page number 265. So here in the in the mobile you can see it as a 305, but if you original book, if you see 265, so read this paragraph. I'm reading the paragraph. In response, we say, that means uchyate, that means we are replying. So Jiva Goswami is replying to the objection raised by the Nayayikas. Yes, because smoke and so on are not actually present everywhere they seem, and because real smoke may possibly also arise the moment vapor has arisen from a hill, or because some other strange phenomena may occur. We cannot ascertain for sure whether the smoke, which may be real or false, indicates the presence or absence of fire. And if we must base our knowledge of smoke on the knowledge of fire, we are left with a vicious cycle of mutually dependent premises. In other words, the proof and what needs to be proven become mixed up. Okay, you understood? Yeah, I'll try to explain. So now the reply is like this. This is a poisonous hill. Okay, these gases. By seeing the gases, we are coming into the conclusion of this smoke on the fire on the hill. Now here it is said that now we are saying what he said, you took the wrong hetu and you came to the wrong conclusion. That is a Purvapakshi is saying, opponent is saying. And now we are saying, and that is a problem of taking the wrong hetu, not the problem of the process. That is his opponent's point. Now we are saying the hetu, that means smoke, is not existing everywhere where it seems. That means, first of all, here what we are saying, the hetu, that means smoke, asarvikat, asarvikat, sorry, asarvatrikatvat, asarvatrikatvat. Next, tad bhashpatita kalagata dhuma jatatvat, jatatvadi sambhavacha. Smoke is not existing everywhere, is not existing everywhere where it seems. That only, na? They seem. Wherever they seem. Wherever they seem. Okay. Next, another second hetu we are giving. Two hetus are there here. Two hetus. Second is, what is said? And is said. The same. Next, and because smoke, because real smoke may possibly also arise. May also arise along with the real smoke also can arise along with the gases also. Gases and smoke both can exist at same time. So in this case, first of all, what? Smoke, wherever we see, it doesn't mean that there is smoke. Wherever we see smoke, it doesn't mean that that is smoke. Because the objects like smoke are many are there. So that's why they may look like smoke, but they are not smoke. That's why wherever they seem like smoke, but it doesn't mean that that is smoke. That's the point number one. And next, point number two is, for example, in the Vishparvata case, so along with the Visha, that means poisons, there is a chance of rising of real smoke also. It is possible. Why not? There is a chance. There is a forest fire is there, and also at the same time, there is a poison also is coming. So both are mixed. So then there is a difficult to even come to the conclusion whether it's only smoke or this is the only poison. Yes, and because of this, and also there is even there are so many varieties of the possibilities. There are so many ways of the possibilities of the smoke. That means which we cannot expect actually. So ultimately, all these things are leading to. All these things are leading to. So leading to. Leading to not leading to not leading to not leading to not leading to unable to leading to unable to ascertain the real presence of smoke or real presence of smoke or the dhuma bhasa or the real or the duplicate or real presence. Otherwise you can take real or the false false real or the false smoke. What Jiva Goswami is saying, first in the reply, what he is saying, first is the smoke wherever we see, that means the object may look like smoke, but it doesn't mean that that should be the smoke everywhere. Okay, that is a one point. And next, and also we are saying there is a possibility of the simultaneously existence of the smoke and the vishavayu, that means the poisonous gas, both can be mixed also. And that is, and the third one is, even that means even you can say there is a very unexpected way smoke can release, can present. So ultimately what I want to say from these all these three reasons, I want to say that it is difficult to, or otherwise we cannot ascertain the real or the false smoke. That means it is a smoke only, it is not smoke on, like that you cannot come, you cannot come to the conclusion. uh, so yeah, since you are not able to come to the proper conclusion about the hetu, proper conclusion of the hetu, then so then also you are not able to come to the proper conclusion of the presence and non-presence of fire. Agni sadbhava asadbhavam atra. That means present, since hetu is not ascertained properly, that means present or not, then also there is, we cannot ascertain the similar way the presence of fire and non-presence of fire. Presence of fire and non-presence of fire. So if, what is the conclusion, that means what is the summary till here? Ultimately, sadbhava asadbhava matra pratipattehe agni gnanad eva dhuma gnane. So that means finally what we are saying, the properly ascertaining of the hetu is not possible. So then you can say smoke is, yes, it is existing on the top of the hill if you know that there is fire. If you know that there is fire, yes, there is a fire, then you can say definitely that is smoke only. Huh? Dhuma gnanat, sorry, agni gnanadeva dhuma gnane, then what will happen? That means you can, when you can ascertain complete, that means when you can absolutely say that there is a smoke, when you have the information that there is a fire. Otherwise it's difficult, it's impossible to say in all the conditions. Then this is leading to the paraspara ashrayata. Very, very carefully here, paraspara ashrayata. What is that paraspara ashrayata? So wait, don't jump na here, it's very you'll be feel difficulty otherwise, just to go with me only. So here this person is there, what what is his goal? He is trying to find the fire on the top of the hill by using the smoke. That means smoke is used to find the fire. That is general scenario. But now since we are not able to ascertain the properly the hetu, so that is demanding the presence of the fire. Fire also, that means what? Fire is the knowledge of the fire is necessary to confirm the smoke. That means knowledge of the sadhya or the goal is necessary to confirm the sadhan, that means hetu. But what we are going to use this sadhan for, what purpose? To find the sadhya, that is a fire. That means what? Ultimately there is, it's a closed loop. So we need the knowledge of the fire to confirm the smoke, and so that then you can use that smoke to find the that fire. Okay, it is a paraspara ashrayata. No, wait. So it is clear, this is point is clear. Online students, it is clear. What is question? Mike.
To ascertain the existence of real smoke or false smoke, again Anuman can be used. That means there is need a hetu for again to establish the smoke.
To ascertain this smoke, you need to ascertain first, or you need to get the right knowledge of the fire. That means the sadhya. But why we are doing whole this process of the sadhana, this anumana pramana, just to find this sadhya, and but that itself is demanded to continue this process. Then what is the use of this process?
There can be a hetu by which smoke can be ascertained. Means I'm on Purva Paksha.
No, you're online students. You have any question on this? Online. One question is here, one question there. Amog Prabhu. Don't become Pura Pakshi, just you become Siddhanti with me. First try to understand, then you come as a Pura Pakshi. Otherwise, it will be difficult. Don't become Pura Pakshi, no one, please. And also, I am not that much intelligent to give the. Okay, no. Okay, okay, you can. Vikas Prabhu, okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
On the example of fire and smoke, Prabhu, you explained that to prove by the means of smoke a knowledge or establishing that there is a fire, we must know the knowledge of the fire itself. To apply Anuman.
Yes.
To apply Anuman.
Yes.
And then Prabhu, you stated that that's why Anuman is not full proof to establish this relationship.
No. Anumana Pramana is demanding to function properly. What it is demanding? It is demanding the confirmation of the sadhya. That means the fire. So yeah, to confirm the hetu. So that's why the whole purpose of Anumana Pramana is to find the sadhya. So if it is now it is demanding the information about the sadhya itself initially, then what is the use of this kind of Anumana Pramana?
And this is the statement, Prabhu, I'm not able to understand the last one, that what is the use, because the way I'm able to comprehend is that we are using this Anuman Pramana to establish the knowledge or the saksh which we are trying to see. So in this particular example, like, we know what is fire, and we have established that wherever there is smoke, there is a fire, and that's an induction or Anuman Pramana. Then how to understand this? What is the use of Anuman? That's what the process is, isn't it, Prabhu? I'm not able to understand that statement. What is the use of Anuman Pramana?
See, why we are using Anumana Pramana? The use of Anumana Pramana is what? Is to find the fire on the hill. Yes?
Yes.
We need Anumana Pramana. That means we don't want to go and see the fire on the top of the hill. Just we want to say the existence of the fire through the Anumana Pramana. So for that, we are using the smoke as the hetu. And by using that smoke as hetu, so we know all the knowledge and we apply that Anumana process. And finally, we are coming to the conclusion that there is a fire on the hill. So you are coming to this conclusion, there is a fire on the hill. By the seeing that fire, you are coming to this conclusion? No, na. This Anumana Pramana is producing this knowledge. This is Anumiti Gnanam. This normal process. Now, in this normal process, what is happening? You see, the hetu, that means is first should be the hetu in this process. Hetu should be identified first, and that means there is a need of the confirmation of the hetu first in that place, in that spot. So for the confirmation of the hetu, so that it is demanding the presence of the are the knowledge of the fire in that spot, not in general. So fire in that spot, the confirmation is necessary to confirm the hetu. But actually what is happening then, this is already, that means we want to find the fire by using the hetu, that means by using the smoke, and but that smoke is demanding the confirmation of the fire. So then what is this? This is the parasparashrayata. So if that process itself is initially itself is demanding the presence of the fire or the confirmation of the fire, so but this we are going to use to find the fire, and but it is demanding the confirmation of the fire to confirm the hetu, that is a smoke, then what is the use of that kind of anumana? Okay, if you are not getting, you go to home and you hear this again and again, then you can get.
Got it, Prabhu. Thanks, Prabhu.
Yes.
So my question is regarding this Purva Pakshi person, Nyayika.
Yeah.
So his logic was that you have taken the Sarup Asid Hetu,
Surupa siddha hetu.
which is Hetu Abhas.
It's one of the hetu avas. It's one of the hetu
This is
avas.
one of the Hetu Abhas.
Yes.
So Jeev Goswami came and said, yes, that is right. The Hetu is wrong. Hetu cannot be confirmed.
Yes.
Yes, you are right. The one way he is saying, yes, you are right. Hetu cannot be ascertained
Yes.
for sure, because they can be mixed and they can be abhas.
Yes. Now that's why he's saying that is impossible. Actually, impossible means hetu you cannot ascertain. So because he's also giving some reasons, asarvatrikatvat, dhumasya asarvatrikatvat, and also so dhuma bhashpa kalati tad bhashpa kalatita bhashpa kalatita dhuma jatatvadi sambhavacha. This is one more point. Like this, he is saying that. So ultimately, you cannot ascertain the hetu directly. And hetu or the non-hetu, that you cannot ascertain. That demands the knowledge of the fire in that spot.
Yeah.
That is bringing to the mutual paraspara ashraya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Nyayika person saying, yes, I'm saying, yes, correct. Means Anuman is perfect, but that Anuman is dependent on some part of Pratyaksha. That is the fault. There is a fault. As Nyayika person, they accept the Anumana. So he's saying Anuman is perfect, but the Hetu is problem. The Pratyaksha to use.
Okay, you are going further. That means still you are trying to defend the Anayayika.
Yes.
So in that case, you see, then we will say that, yes, that means you are depending on the Pratyaksha. That means you are depending on, that means you are Nayayika, and you are accepting that your dependency on the Pratyaksha.
Correct.
And we already proved that Pratyaksha is
wrong.
helpless, is wrong.
Yeah.
So that means you are also
correct.
Wrong.
Yeah, I accept that.
Yeah.
But so the conclusion is this Anumana is depends upon Pratyaksha.
That will come anyway. Next is coming.
Okay.
Actually, this point is coming. Because our Jiva Goswami is even he is having the super master intelligence. That is, he wherever we think, even he is thinking beyond that, and he reaching that, and all those corners he opening actually. Next line is, we'll take. Tadevam tadrusha pratyakshasyaiva pramam prati vyabhichare samavyaptau api tad vyabhicharaha. Even if you say, even if you confirm the properly hetu also, that means sometimes, that means if you have samavyapti, that means hetu and the sadhya both are tightly connected. That means samavyapti I explained yesterday. So that is samavyapti is there. That means hetu is properly, but still there is a defective. There is a problem in the this Hanumana Pramana because of the dependency on the Pratyaksha Pramana. Even if you know hetu and sadhya, properly, but still this Anumana process is having the Anumana Pramana process is having the problem, because you see in the Hanumana Pramana, you just go to the previous day's explanation. Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vahini. tatra tatra. This is the rule actually. Vyapti, we say this is the rule. This knowledge, how that person got, he went to the kitchen, he went to the goshala, he went to the sleeping place. Like this, he went to different places. Then he observed the, and also he went to the factory. Finally, he observed the relation between the fire and smoke. Then after that, he made this rule. Then after that, he started using that to find the fire in the new places, which you cannot see by using the smoke. Okay. Now what we say here, so he is making this rule by what? By seeing, by using what pramana he is making this rule? Pratyaksha pramana only. But we already explained pratyaksha pramana is defective because of because it is depending on the senses. That means what is pratyaksha pramana? Indriya artha. That means indriya vishaya sannikarsha is the pratyaksha. So indriya vishaya sannikarsha is the pratyaksha. So here indriyas are the defective. Since indriyas are the defective, that defectiveness, that defect will come into the making in this rule also. It may, that means that defect will come into this, and after that, based upon this rule, you will be finding the, that means you are applying this rule and you are finding the fire, or rather you finding the sadhya in the new places. So that means that is also wrong conclusion. So that's why he is saying, Jiva Goswami is saying, so in this way, since Anumana Pramana is dependent on the Pratyaksha Pramana, so Anumana Pramana is also defective. Next, Sabdasyeva Nairapeksham Yatha Dashamastvamasi Ityadau Yeva. But in the case of non-defective Shabda, it is not like that. Because non-defective Shabda is always produces right knowledge. Example is Dashamastvamasi. This is a statement. Dashama, you are the 10th one. The same whatever we took for the Pratyaksha Pramana to say Shabda Pramana is independent. Same example we are taking here also. That disciples of the one Guruji, they went to a marriage function. So they are crossing the river. So at that time, so while the crossing, so they, after crossing the river, they are just counting. They are actually 10. They are counting and they are getting only 9. So then after that, so they are always, they are crying all together because one is missing. Then one new person came from another place and he's just asking why you are crying, and they said we miss one friend, our friend. So then after that they are saying, he is saying that, so you count now, 1 2 3 there. Then after that he said Dashamaha Tvam Asi. He said this statement. After hearing this statement, this 10th one who is counting, immediately he is whatever, that means Dashamaha Aham. That means previously he was having some illusion, that some ignorance, that so I am not the 10th one. That is immediately dispelled immediately by hearing the statement Dashamaha Tvam Asi. That means hearing of this statement, that means remove the ignorance whatever he is having. So then that's why you can say here, this is producing the right knowledge, this sentence. Okay, next, Atmasikyanurupameva cha tasya tena sa vyachikaranam yatha hiraka guna vishesha विशेषमदृष्टवद्भिः पार्थिवत्वेन सवं मेवाश्मादिकं द्रव्यं लौहच्छेद्यम् इत्यनुमातुं शक्यते न तु श्रुततादृशगुणकं हीरकं तच्चेद्यम् इत्यादौ. So now we finish what Anumana versus non-defective Shabda. 2 are finished. Vyabhichari, Avyabhichari. Second is dependent and independent. Third one is, you can open my notes. Shabda is served by Anumana Pramana according to its capacity. Example, one may infer that a diamond can be cut by iron because it is made of earth. If one has not seen the particular quality of the diamond, but if one hears about the qualities of the diamond, so one would not make such a mistaken inference. By inference, what we know that any object made up of earth material, we can cut that by the iron, loha. Any material made up of the earth. That means example, see, wood. Example is wood. Wood, or otherwise you can take gold, or other anything. So like this. Now you can cut that by the iron. That means some blade you can take, iron blade, and you can cut easily. So similarly, that means anything is made out of earth can be cut by iron. So this is the rule we made. Now we come to the case of the diamond. Diamond is also made up of earth, and so that's why it should be cut by iron. So this conclusion we get, this inference actually. So we applied that rule and we inferred that diamond can be cut by iron. So but what Shastra is saying, Loha Shastra, iron cannot be cut by, diamond cannot be cut by iron, and diamond is cut by the diamond only. So that's why here what? Shabda is yeah, yeah, then you infer that diamond can so in this example you may use, that means even the this Shabda overrules the Anuman also you can say. For that also you can use. That means one example can be used for the many criterias. That's not a problem actually. Because you heard from the Loha Shastra that so iron diamond cannot be cut by the iron. So then after that you corrected your inference. That means, oh yes, so even it is made up of the earth, so it cannot be cut by the uh, uh, uh.
You heard the qualities of the diamond.
Yeah, but if one hears about the qualities of the iron, one would not make such a mistaken inference.
Yeah.
Then he will not make the inference. That means iron can cut the diamond. This inference you will not do that then. Okay. That is okay. Yeah, but here what? The wrong inference you will not do. This is that means, so if you don't, that means if you don't approach the Shabda and if you use only the Anumana Pramana independently, then that is leading to the wrong inference. So now if you take the help of the this, then what will happen? It is going to we will not be doing the wrong inference. So Atma Shaktyanurupameva cha tasya tena साच व्यकरणम यथा हीरक गुण विशेषम अदृष्टवद्भिः पार्थिवत्वेन. That means what? Here how can you say actually this example is what is the point we want to establish? Shabda is served by Anumana Pramana. That is the point we should establish, na? So that how it is established here in this example. So that is a question actually here. So here the point is Shabda is served by the Anumana. So here, according to its capacity, Anumana is serving Shabda according to its capacity. Anumana is everywhere it is not able to serve the Shabda. But here the example is this, and somewhere it can yeah, it's not able to serve. Let us take, wait. I will explain like Loha Shastra is there. So in that Loha Shastra, you have the few statements. Let us assume, I am not confirm actually, just I am guessing and saying, okay, Loha Shastra. In the Loha Shastra, we hear that iron can be used to cut wood. Iron, sorry, can be used to cut. Tell another example. Would not some gold, like that. And iron cannot be used to cut diamond, because even though, so otherwise finally Aloha Shastra is saying that any material cut by any material out of earth can be cut by iron. This is the statement of Loha Shastra. Okay, this is a statement of Loha Shastra. Any material out of earth can be cut by iron. Examples is these two. Okay, now but not Loha Shastra is saying that, but not diamond, because it is having special qualities. It is having special qualities. This passage is there in the Loha Shastra. Now you see this inference, this Anumana Pramana is working to support this statement. Any material made up of any material out of earth can be cut by the iron. This Loha Shastra is also saying, and that is supported by that means in that case inference is also working. So, but if you apply the same, inference is having only limitation. That means it cannot come to this conclusion. Actually, diamond cannot be cut. Inference cannot do that. So if you apply inference in the case of diamond also, then what it will happen? So it will fail. That means what? Inference is serving in this case, in this state, inference is serving this Shabda statement, and inference is not serving this statement. So that means inference is serving the Shabda according to its capacity. It's not that everywhere it can serve. No. Next. शब्दस्य तद उपमर्दकत्वं यथा वह्नितप्तमंगा वह्नितापेन शाम्यति शुण्ठ्यादिद्रव्यं जठराग्निपाकादौ माधुर्यादिभाक् भवति इत्यादौ. Next one is self-dependent non-defective shabda pramana can overrule anumana pramana. What is that? Example is any limb is burned by the fire. So any limb, this is according to capacity. Third is done. Next, fourth one is overrule. Shabda overrules the anumana. Example is like you see, I'm rubbing this. Like example is, you see here, anyone's limb is burned by the fire. Then according to the inference, if you burn more, then what will happen? It will damage will be more. According to the inference, damage is more because increasing heat, na? So that will be inference will say that you should not heat this limb. You should not heat the limb which is burnt. But Ayurveda Shastra, what it is saying? You burn it. Then it will be healed quickly. Yes. So something that means you take this warming. Burning means not directly burning in the fire. No. So there is some special way of doing that. That means you take this some hot item, and like you can keep sometimes that ashes or salt or something, heat it and then keep on the cloth, and nicely if you do that, then it will be healed quickly actually. That's how I was saying. But according to the inference, so it should not be. So here what? Here Shabda is overruling the Anumana. You have to find one examples, okay? All the time you have to think. For this also you should write
Prabhu,
the.
how do you
Yeah.
find these backstories behind all these two word quotes from Jiva Goswami?
Huh, bro?
How do you find all these backstories for each of the two word examples from the Jiva Goswami?
No, I am speaking his examples only. I am not. Villages we know all these actually. I am from village, so I know all these things are. In home everyone they practice.
From
Dashamas
and
Tomasi.
there's nothing else given there. You gave us the whole story.
It is general story actually. This Dashamas Tomasi is there in every Shastra you'll be seeing, and even there are so many in the childhood we used to hear the stories on this many times. Paramananda Shishya. So next, another one more Shuntyadi Dravyam. One more example is given for the overruling. Shunti, Shunti means dry ginger. If you dry the ginger, then after that, so sometimes you'll be using that. If you rub it and after that, and you can drink it. So that what is going to happen is actually this dry ginger, if on the tongue it will be like a spicy, but if it goes to the stomach, it will be it will sweet. It will become sweet actually. It will reduce the heat in the body actually. Dry ginger. You used to apply the sunti in the even childhood, so in the neck and this head also to remove the heat, and also used to drink this we dry ginger tea also they make. So like this, that will be reducing the heat in the body. So but actually since it is very spicy, so inference says that since it is spicy it will increase the heat. That is the inference. But it is not like that. If you see the Ayurveda is saying that if you take this dry ginger, it will be becoming the sweet to your stomach and it will reduce the heat. So that's why here our inference is overruled. Next. तेन प्रतिपादिते अनुमानेन अविरोध्यत्वं यथा एक एव इयम् त्रिदोषग्नि. Trifala churna actually. Trifala. So in our body we are having the three dhatus actually. Kapha, Pitta, Vayu. That means mucus, kapha, and fire and air. So these are the three dhatus body is made up of, or these three dhatus. And is there any disbalance in these three? That means if mucus is increased and this fire, and then that will create the imbalance. Then you will be having the certain different diseases. Diseases always are there in your body. The diseases means bacteria, virus, which are the cause for this, are always there in the body. So but when these three dhatus are disbalanced, they get disbalanced, then so certain type of the bacteria will become active and it will give that means disease to you. So that's why in the ancient medicine, that means if you go to the Ayurveda technique, so they don't give any antibiotic, that means killing the virus or any symptomatic medicine they don't give. They don't give to kill the virus or the bacteria. But what they do, they try to balance these three. They will give such a diet, they will recommend such a diet to you, or otherwise they give such a medicine diet to you, so that these three will be once again balanced, and then that bacteria or the virus will be inactive automatically. So if you take the tablets for each and every virus, then there will be, so for if you have 2-3 different days, that means cold and also you are having the fever and also you are having some headache, then if you take the 3 different tablets to kill the 3 different viruses, then that will be combinedly, they are producing another side effect and it will be spoiling the whole body. But only thing is, you just balance this. The Ayurveda what it does, so balancing these three. So for that what? Even there is a imbalance of the fire. If fire is increased or decreased, that also create the imbalance. Air is increasing of air may increase or decrease, that is also imbalancing these three. So that these will causing the different diseases. But there is a one medicine only, that is a trifala churno, that's one medicine. If you take that one medicine, even if it disbalance caused by the mucus, also it cures, also it cures the disbalance caused due to fire also, or also it cures disbalance caused by the air, anything actually. So that's why here what is this example is for the tena pratipati anumanena avirodhitvam. This is a little bit you need to know more Ayurveda, so more elaborately. So anyone can, student can do research and further. Okay, I'm running actually. तशक्तिभिर अस्पृश्येर्थे शब्दस्यैव साधकतमत्वं यथा ग्रहचेष्टादौ एव इति. If you come to the last and final point, that is Shakti, that means this Anumana Pramana Shabda is more powerful, and even the objects which cannot be reached by the Anumana can be touched by Shabda. Example is the influence of the planets. So you cannot guess the influence of the planetary system on you. So, but Shabda, that means Jyotish Shastra, can describe that. So like this, we are finishing these, that means 6 criteria. So that finally we are establishing Anumana Pramana is also dependent on, or otherwise rooted in, is a servant actually. It's a servant of the king, that is Shabda Pramana. So by the 6 features, 6 criteria, we are establishing that Anumana is a servant, and defectless, non-defective Shabda is king. If you take the present case, present recent examples, modern examples, and if you present this and in such a way so that engineers, doctors, these will be, so should be convinced actually. Bring up such examples and make the presentation. This
we need the second part, which is
huh?
we need the second part. First, we need to establish that there exists a non-defective shabda.
That also will, second part will be showing, but just I am saying, so this pratyaksha and anumana, how they are helpless, they are servants only, they are not independent and they are not kings. That means they are not self-sufficient, no. So that point, so we are discussing, that can be established. And then after that, anyway, we will, second part we are going to establish non-defective shabda also. So then if you do this, that means that non-defective Shabda is Vedas, that we are going to establish very quick, very soon in the next coming classes. Then if you join together everything, then that is perfect actually. Then everyone will accept the Vedas. That is the point. So now, Tadevam Mukyayoreva Tayoho. Now what about out of actually where we are at the, now we should recall our discussion where we went to this kind of pramana discussion. Why we are discussing about the pramanas? Are you remembering or not? Why we are remembering for the, to explain Anubandha Chatushtaya. So we are trying to determine what is the right pramana. And we have how many pramanas? Every human being is having the 10 pramanas. And even though these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these 10 pramanas are there. And these 10 pramanas of the human being are sometimes they work as pramana and sometimes they don't work as pramana. That means they become pramana bhasa. So, and that's why, so we are saying that they are all dependent on the non-defective Shabda. They are dependent on the non-defective Shabda. And that means non-defective Shabda is the king, and all these are all the servants we are going to prove. So for that, first we took non-defective Shabda versus, what is that first one? Pratyaksha we did, and non-defective Shabda versus next Anumana. So we did, and next how many are remaining? So that all these we are going to prove also. Yeah. So that we'll be doing in the next class. In one class. In one class we'll be doing. So now we'll be taking the questions. Yes.
This two example
Yes, Prabhu.
for over Anuman can overruled by Sabda.
Uh,
The example is Vani Taptam Angam Vani साम्यति मतलब आग से जला हुआ अगर आग के द्वारा ही उसको समन हो सकता है.
English. Others
Okay.
may not
So
understand.
the of a person who is burnt by fire, limbs are burnt by fire, can be again
Healed. That healing, burning of
healed
the
by
burning
other
can be healed
fiery
by
object.
the yeah.
So that is the example we used for establish that
Yeah.
Sabda is overruling Anuman.
Yes.
And another example we used for Anuman cannot oppose the Sabda. In
Yes.
that we use the example of Trifala Churna.
Yes.
We have three type of this three type body.
Different
Kapha, Pitta, Vayu,
dhatus are there in the body.
Dhatu,
Yeah.
and by only one medicine. So
The-
what is the difference between these two example? I have not understood because in Sabda Anuman can overrule Sabda can overrule Anuman. In that also Trifala Churna example can go, and again the next Anuman cannot oppose. In that we can take a Vani Tapta Mangam example goes.
Yeah, that's not a problem. One
Yeah.
time, one
Is there any?
sometimes one example may serve two criteria also. That's not a problem.
But is there any specific difference between these two example?
We took two example. Example is having so many features. That same example can be used for establishing many points. Like we took this spider. We took the spider to establish the, that means how the Lord is also upadana karanam and the nimitta karanam. In the similar way, that same spider is also is established. It can be used to explain the creatures which walk with the various legs. So if you want to show the, if you want to explain, then you can take the example of this and you can explain this as a spider. So to give, that means to show how the creature can walk with many legs. Yes or no? The same example can be used for the many purposes. So it's like the same Chandra is there. Chandra you can take and you can explain to, you can use that example to explain a face of, beautiful face of a girl. That means Chandramukhi we say. That means her face is very beautiful. To explain this, you are using the sun, the moon. The similarly moon can be used so to explain that it is Purna Chandra, that he is having the Prakasha, and that Prakasha is establishing, that means Purna Chandra is having this so much light, and that light is nothing but the Shakti of that means that moon. So that can be used, so that can be used to establish this Shakti, any object which is having the Shakti. That means Kantiman is this Chandraha, and that Kantimatvam is establishing, that means Shakti of that moon. The same way that can be used, that moon can be used to explain the, that means any object is Swayam Prakasha, it is also having the Shakti. So like this, that will be coming this example.
But my confusion is, what is the difference between Anuman overruling Sabda or Anuman cannot oppose Sabda?
This you can. So Anuman overruling Shabda means, Shabda overruling Anumana means, overruling means what? So whatever is said by the Anumana, so is just finished out. That means here you take Vahini Taptamangam Vahinina Shamyati. So means what? According to the Anumana, what we are knowing, any already burning again will be cause the more damage. According to the Anumana, this is the, that means conclusion we get. But now if you go for the Sabda, it is saying that no, you can burn it. That means what here, what it is doing, whatever is established by the Anumana is overruled by the Shabda. This is the Upamardakatva. This is Upamardakatva, it cannot oppose. Anumana is saying it cannot be, but Sabda is saying it can be. So it is overruling. Yeah. Okay. I will take the later. Okay. Yeah. So others? Nam Sankirtan Prabhu. Yes. Okay. Breaks time is started.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I have a little doubt. Just both times when you established that Shabda, non-defective Shabda is superior to Pratyaksha and Anuman. But both times when there were 10 people and they thought there were 9, another person came and they said, actually, you're 10.
Yes.
His Shabda was not non-defective because he's also used his Pratyaksha to count them. The same with the person who came down the hill when he saw that there was a rain and he said that the rain extinguished the fire. He also used Pratyaksha to see that there was a rain and there was no fire.
Yes.
So that's not pure example of non-defective Shabda, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, Prabhu. So even though those are like in the Dashamastomasi in that case, and also the person who is coming down from the hill, so he is also saying that means, oh, don't go there. So of course that the Shabda, whatever they have, that we are assuming it is non-defective. Okay. So then based upon that, so the Anumana is working and it is producing the right knowledge. So main Prabhu, here we are not discussing the what is that non-defective now. So non-defective Shabda. We are assuming there is a non-defective Shabda. So then what it can be, that we are going to discuss in the future classes. So let us assume there is no defect in that.
But we used it to prove that Pratyaksha and Anuman are fully dependent on Shabda.
Yeah.
But by assuming that this Shabda is non-defective, that's kind of a circular logic, isn't it?
We are using non-defective Shabda. We are assuming there is a non-defective Shabda, and based upon that, now we are saying that this Anumana and the Pratyaksha are the inferior. Okay, then what is that perfect non-defective Shabda that we are going to discuss? You're getting point? Nam Sankirtan Prabhu.
I mean, yes, we're getting this point, but it will be very difficult to use this logic while we preach, because immediately people will say, if you ask your mother who your father is, then your mother is the only authority to say who your father is. But what if your mother is lying to you? Then immediately they ask this question.
Prabhu,
so
actually, I'm not
by assuming.
Yeah, we are assuming.
Mm-hmm.
We are assuming. I'm saying
what's
meaning of assuming. Assuming means let us take that Shabda is free from the defects. Assume what is the problem in assuming. Then after that we'll decide that what is that non-defective Shabda without assumption. That we'll do in the later.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.